eye of newt, and toe of frog, will of bat, tongue of dog.
Adder's fork and blindworm's sting.
Barbados lime is just the thing.
Fragged sword like a sailor's stubble.
Flip the switch and let the cauldron bubble.
How convenient!
Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
Oh, hey, Internet. Welcome back to the Intoxicated podcast, and happy Halloween. And happy early Halloween. If you're brand new to the show, this is a podcast where I usually have my friends on, we have some drinks, and we talk about life. When you're hearing this, it will be on the cusp of Halloween. Halloween is next Wednesday, so I did have to get ahead of myself and get a Halloween episode out for you guys. Ah, man, Halloween is literally my favorite holiday? I guess it's not really a holiday, but you know what I mean. It's my favorite time of year. One thing you might know if you have been listening to the show is that I'm obsessed with anything bizarre, creepy, weird. I love the paranormal, and I love talking about this stuff. So for this episode, I got together with my friends Frankie and Amy, both returning guests. Amy has done 3 other episodes of the podcast, and Frankie was just on episode 69. I really want to get people on who also love spooky stuff and are open to it. So these girls were absolutely perfect for it, and we got together, we turned off the lights, we lit some candles, we talked about Halloween, different traditions we had growing up for Halloween, our favorite things about it, and of course, we got into some ghost stuff. I actually was really lucky enough to get some ghost stories from listeners. So we read a couple on the episode and it was pretty awesome. There's some creepy stories that you're going to hear in this episode. But to even make it even creepier, we took it a step up. Frankie actually had a Ouija board and she brought it over and we used it. So I know Ouija boards are polarizing. I know that there's some people who are just like, no, I don't want anything to do with it. And for those people, I will leave you timestamps in this episode so that you can hop out whenever we start using it. Me personally, I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other. I've never really had a crazy experience with a Ouija board, so I guess I've always been just okay with it. So yeah, if you are uncomfortable with stuff like that, I will leave timestamps below stating where the Ouija board session does start. But one thing that I'm going to say is that when I played back the audio of the Ouija board session, I heard some stuff. Now, do I think that what I heard were EVPs? Ghost voices, essentially? Maybe not. There's a lot of things it could be, but I will say that as I was actually listening to the silent parts of the Ouija board sessions, I did find some things that some people might call EVPs. So during those sections of audio, I did amplify it. So that's why all of a sudden you'll notice like crazy white noise and then nothing, and then crazy white noise and then nothing. I had to kind of leave the white noise in because if I did try to reduce the noise, it would have altered the voice. So I wanted to keep it as true to what it was as I could while still making it louder for you guys to hear. And just so you know, like what I did with this was I essentially listened really closely, and if I heard anything, I went in and then turned it up. So who knows what this was? Let me know what you think. If you listen to this track, if this is something you're interested in and you listen to this part of the podcast, let me know what you think of those noises. Because me personally, I think it sounds like raspy whispers, and in many different parts of that whole section, it's almost like whatever it is saying the same thing over and over again. So it's kind of creepy to me. I don't know. I take it with a grain of salt, but I won't lie, a big part of me got real excited when I found those. So that's just my take on it. I love the paranormal and I love ghost stories and Halloween. So this was a very fitting episode for our Halloween special this year. Big thanks to Frankie and Amy for coming on. And on the subject of Halloween, we are going to do another live stream. It's going to be obviously not as intense as the 12-hour live stream, but on Saturday, that is October 27th, I'm having a Halloween party at my apartment. I'm going to have some friends over. I'm going to stream some of that. So it's not going to be overly long, maybe 1 or 2 hours. But if you want to pop into the live stream and hang out with us, please do so. I imagine that there's going to be costumes and drinking and maybe some games, maybe some ghost stories. Who the fuck knows? It's not going to be formal at all. It's just going to be a party, live stream, and it's going to be fun. So make sure you tune into that. It will be on YouTube. It's probably going to start around 9 p.m. more than likely. So I will post all those details on social media to remind everybody as well. But if you find yourself home on Saturday night and you're bored and you want to party with us via the live stream, please do so. I'm going to quickly go over the housekeeping items. Make sure you check out our Patreon page. That is patreon.com/intoxicated. To check out the various reward levels on there, you can sign up and make a monthly donation to support the show. And as a result, you would get various rewards. We do pump out a lot of bonus content over on Patreon. So it's definitely worth it in my mind. Make sure you follow the podcast on social media. That is Facebook and Instagram at Intoxicated Podcast, on Twitter at @in_toxicated. Make sure you hit subscribe on whatever podcast app you use. And if you're really liking the show, a rating or review on iTunes would be extremely helpful. So that is all for now. I hope you guys enjoy this very spooky and awesome episode with Frankie and Amy. Ooh, welcome back, everybody. I'm doing really bad at this. I'm not good at this. It's a Halloween episode. I don't know why I turned into Mario all of a sudden.
It's the annual Intoxicated Spooktober episode.
Spooktober, I like that. We are back with a Halloween episode, and I'm here with 2 returning guests. Ooh. 2 returning guests.
Interesting.
Oh.
We have Amy.
Hi. You may remember me from such episodes as number 3 and
number
the one about Kesha.
No, you've done Kesha. So you did your own solo. You did Kesha, and you did you and Brent.
Oh yeah.
So your 4th time returning.
I forget
guest.
about Brent sometimes. That's my fiance, and I love him very much.
Oh my gosh. And Frankie.
What's up?
You might remember her from such episodes as episode 69. Oh my god, wow. Same wavelength.
We just had that moment.
And you're on bell duty. Both of you guys are on bell duty because I can't reach it. So
That's valid.
Right.
That's-
Just scream bell, and I'll ring the bell.
wouldn't it be creepy if a ghost rang it?
Oh, I kind of hope it happens.
That would be a cool thing to ask them.
To ring the bell?
Like, you know how when it's always show a sign that you're here?
Yeah. Ooh, that would be fun.
That would
Yeah.
be,
That would be like auditory evidence.
yeah. So we're back for a Halloween episode. Halloween is like my Christmas. So I had plans fell through for my original idea for an episode, but I was like, I need some spooky bitches up in here to talk about some ghost stories. And we're going to take it up a notch because we have a Ouija board present.
Woo, the
So-
yes board.
We might actually we're going to do kind of like a little mini seance in a little bit.
So to speak, yeah.
You're very knowledgeable on this stuff.
Been performing little seances at slumber parties for, like 10 years, which is weird to think about.
Are you invited to the slumber parties? Or?
I mean, usually.
Okay.
Most of those times.
I imagine you just come out from under the bed you guys want to have some fun?
Yeah, basically.
Or she's hired to go to slumber parties.
Oh, that'd be fun.
As the
If anyone
seance girl?
wants to hire me to be your seance girl, I will totally take your dollars in exchange for my Hasbro Ouija board.
A combined service. Like sex toys and seances.
We do have a sex Ouija board, and no friggin' joke, my most liked photo on our social media account. We are a very small account. I'm lucky to get 30, 40, sometimes 70 likes. I got over 300 likes on this photo of a sex Ouija board, and I'm like, what kind of witchery magic is
Holy
this?
shit.
What is a sex Ouija board?
It's literally a Ouija board that works exactly the same way the pseudoscience of a Ouija board, but it's instead of guiding you to letters, it guides you to sex positions.
So the
The
spirits
best
tell
part
you how to
is
fuck.
there's an option that says not now.
Oh my gosh.
And it's called the spirits want you to have good sex because apparently they couldn't have thought of a catchier slogan.
What does the planchette look like?
It's a heart.
Oh, I mean cute, but also kind of disappointed.
Yeah, it's
I was really hoping it would be like a butt.
Oh, if only. Could be
Or
a heart
penis. The penis point. The pointy part would be the
That's it.
penis.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm
that's sweet.
so intrigued.
I mean, it would work.
That's
yeah,
insane.
Yeah, it works the same way as a.
Yeah.
Like, you could make your own Ouija board.
It's true.
planning
Well,
on
like I
that.
said, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a piece of wood that I do wood burning, so I have a piece of wood that I'm planning on turning into a Ouija board. I just need to figure out the design I want.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm ridiculously excited. But thank you guys so much for being here. We are drinking as well. So we have some Bulwark cider on the go. And Amy, you have a spooky wine. What's the name of your spooky wine?
19 Crimes. It's Australian. I am drinking the dark red blend. I believe it's called The Banished.
Ooh.
Spooky.
That's very on theme.
On point.
On point, yeah. On point. So for me, Halloween is my favorite season. I like it better than Christmas.
Yep.
And I'm hoping you guys agree.
Yep.
I'm on the same wavelength, but I don't discount Christmas. I start like the minute like late August hits, I'm like Halloween now, and then I just don't stop. I'm like fuck yeah Christmas, and then I'm like fuck yeah New Year's, and then I'm like fuck yeah Valentine's Day, then fuck yeah St. Patrick's
So you
Day,
just love all
and
the
then fuck
holidays.
yeah
You're a
420,
holiday
and then
person.
I'm like oh my god shit June's here, it's my birthday. What's up?
I can't.
I literally
Ooh. What
June
star
4th.
signs?
sick.
Are you guys star sign twins?
Sun signs.
Oh, sun.
You're what you think is your star sign is your sun sign. I'm obsessed with astrology as well, so don't get me started on this because I will never shut up.
Girl, I got some issues with that. I'm a Taurus rising and I demand a refund.
Interesting. I'm a
On my
Libra
birth date.
rising, and it explains so much.
Yeah.
I'm a Gemini. I know that
Yeah.
much.
So if you know your birth time, you can find out.
Oh, well,
your
like, I could
rising
literally,
sign?
like-
My actual date of like
I can
my
figure this
your
shit out
birth- your
within
exact birth
seconds.
time.
Like I'm a fucking witch, pal.
My parents don't know that.
Oh, you know. Oh, okay.
I
See,
can-
I made my mom find my baby book to find my birth time.
I can promise you, my parents never had a baby book. They are just not. I love them
I can
very
find
much,
your
and I know
moon,
they
though.
love me, but they are not those kind of parents.
I can find your moon though. What year?
1989. Don't steal my identity.
Is moon?
Not you. I mean the internet.
I'll believe it.
You should be more worried about me, tbh. Where were you?
What? Okay, and now one last question. What's your social insurance number?
Yeah. What are those like little three digits on the back of your visa?
I'm gonna need you to go in your wallet.
Here,
This
go
is
ahead and
very
just do
important
that for me.
Yeah,
off-
there you go. You can
off
put
mic.
it in.
I was gonna say off camera, but these are like mouth cameras.
Oh.
Most camera.
Wait, is this just like what?
Just
country I was
pick
born
country,
in?
and then it boils it down.
Any country, or
If
the
you
one
want,
I was
the
born
one
in?
you. I mean, if you want, if you were born in Uganda,
one
go
you
right
want.
ahead.
But it's gonna throw it
Because
off.
like the Faroe Islands is really speaking to me right now.
That's so funny. Oh my god. Moon is like how you are in love, right?
Okay, so no,
Or
that's
how you
Venus.
love. Okay. Shit.
Super like unrelated to the entire episode. Actually, not so much. It's kind of lumped
It's
in
kinda-
with divination,
Yeah.
witchcraft, esoteric studies, that
Yep.
sort of thing. Your sun sign is like basically just where like the sun was when you were born.
Right.
Last a month, super easy. Your moon is something more like your truest self. Like who you are when nobody else is around. Your rising is the person you exude to the world.
Right. I'm both moon and rising a Taurus, apparently.
Interesting.
And
so
it-
that typically
and
would mean
I-
you're more on the stubborn side. You are going to
Apparently.
have more of like a sexual interest, that
Interesting.
sort of thing.
I always thought I was an Aries rising. Every time I look up an Aries, I'm like, that's me.
Really.
And I was convinced that I was an Aries. And then my mom told me my birth time, and I looked it up, and it said Taurus.
That's very.
And every single, well, my ex is a Taurus.
Oh, you're also a Gemini moon. So am I. We're both Gemini suns and moons.
Fuck
What?
yeah. I don't know what that means.
That's fine. It just
Okay.
means we're super fucking Gemini, and it,
Yeah.
like the world can't handle that. Because
I'll be nice to you one day. Cut your fucking face the next.
How was Halloween growing up for you guys? What were your traditions? Were you trick-or-treaters?
For sure.
Like, what was Halloween night like in your house growing up? I need to know.
My
need to get
mom was
nostalgic.
Tell me, baby
super
girl, 'cause I need to
religious,
know.
So I feel like you mentioned your parents were also religious, right? Or your mom
Just
was?
my mom, and not like ultra religious, like not like Roman Catholic, but like we went to church every Sunday.
My mom
Dad
was-
got to stay home.
My mom was Roman Catholic.
I'm not bitter.
Yeah, same. My dad also. It was so weird because my mom was super like Roman Catholic. My dad was an atheist.
See, my mom was Lutheran, but she's very devout.
I say
in it.
was. They're both still alive.
Yeah.
I just want.
Are they still religious?
My mom is, yeah,
Right.
very much so. My dad's still an atheist. That has not changed.
Interesting.
That's valid.
Interesting.
And yeah, so anything to do with the supernatural, I just could not take part in, which I think kind of fostered my like,
Almost desire for it.
yeah.
Yeah, that would. It's
Like-
like if you're brought up strict and then you're, put in a party setting, you go nuts,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's crazy. And trick-or-treating?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love costumes.
Did
Just
you
dressing up.
live in a town area or like a
I
country?
grew up in Halifax.
Like, so the town?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like, what about you? Country or town?
A little bit mixed bag. Random split childhood. Lots of trick or treating years in Halifax. Lots of trick or treating years in like small towns in Alberta.
Nice. Because I grew up in straight country and trick-or-treating was like so much fucking fun. It was even more, it was more creepy because you had to like walk in like kind of in the woods as you were trick-or-treating. I wonder if people let their kids do that nowadays.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably
I know
not.
that like I was gonna say a beeper and then I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Oh, yeah,
remember?
their kids are drug dealers. Yeah.
Do you guys
Get your
remember what your
beeper, honey.
host would give out for candy?
I don't remember at all. I
Just
feel like
like-
mom would just buy like the standard mixed bag.
Yeah,
Like I feel like
the-
chips were probably more popular.
Chips, like the fun-sized chocolate
Yeah,
bars.
definitely no full-size
fun
chocolate
size.
bars.
Oh,
we were
yeah.
not that
Like,
house.
yeah, no, we were not from that kind of money.
No.
We actually gave out full-size Mr. Big bars.
Mr. Big.
I'm not joking.
Mr. fucking Big.
Sarah.
I'm not joking. I'm sorry. But I'm also very proud of it because that's bitchin'. A
Yeah.
full-size
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Big
Full
bar.
size anything is nothing to shake a fist at, but
No.
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big. See that sound? That's the sound of Sarah flexing. Just flexing
But
on
we
us.
also gave out at one point the rainbow gumballs, like the tube with gumballs.
That's fun.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
sour ones.
I thought we did a pretty good job at giving out candy.
My favorite thing
Yeah.
to get as a kid were like those little juice bags. Or
Oh
like
my
any pop,
god.
any liquid.
Dude, if it was a can of pop, I
Yeah.
lost my
Like
shit.
you just like,
yeah.
because that's like you could just sit down, fucking down the pop, power up, get back to it.
Yep.
It was like recharge.
Yup.
Oh man,
Treat
so hold
bags.
the fucking phone. Y'all didn't have to wait until you got home and your mom full on investigated your entire bag before you were allowed to touch anything.
She's not the boss of me.
Oh my,
My mom
god.
never
I
did
grew up
that.
in fascist Italy, apparently.
I think they never investigated my
My mom's
trick-or-treat
like, no, you
bags.
can't touch any of your candy until I look through it when I get home, aka take all the ones I want and then leave you whatever is left. God damn.
To be fair though, it's kind of hard to fuck with like a closed bottle of pop.
It would be. That would be very hard.
Yeah.
But apples? Yeah, I always heard like horror stories about
never
apples.
It was
Really
always
happened.
Tootsie Rolls. It was needles and Tootsie Rolls.
No,
Woo!
that never happened.
No, it's not real.
No, it
Okay.
never happened.
It's just
There's-
a horror story that's
sensational.
Yeah,
made
there
up.
was this one guy who like tried to like kill his own kid
Oh shit.
and then blamed it on someone putting like razor blades in chocolate bars. But like, there's been no recorded case of it.
Yeah, not even
on
a one.
Halloween. No,
Really?
except
Okay.
for this one dude.
So it's just breeding fear in us, really.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really is what it is.
It's just an excuse for parents to take their kids' candy and like rate it.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I truly loved Halloween. And we never usually started trick-or-treating until it was dark. Now, here in Halifax, I notice they start really early.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like
4
o'clock.
p.m.
Like,
What is
they're-
with that
Go
shit?
home, do your homework, eat dinner,
Yeah.
get your costume on. Like, there's a succession to things.
They're done
Yeah.
by like 7. It's crazy.
That is boring as fuck.
Yeah.
And that makes me cherish my childhood more.
A little bit.
Because we had it was fucking bitchin'. We would go around. That said, we did have to walk long distances for houses, right? Because it was in the country, so it's
Yeah.
spread out. But then we would usually drive in town and visit my aunt and uncle and then hit up the town. So we kind of got the best of both worlds.
Nice.
It was fucking amazing. And like, did you guys decorate your house for Halloween?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Not like anything crazy.
Yeah.
There were like vague decorations. My mom had this thing where she would she kept the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack in her CD player. So every
Nice.
time she entered the door, it would do the da, 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 da. So like that was fun. Like
That's
she got
great.
super into that. And my dad would without fail dress up in the exact same Darth Maul costume for like every year for 10 years.
That's
Nice.
amazing.
And like he would also put it on when I had slumber parties just to try to scare me and my friends. But like that Darth Maul costume
Darth
got its
Maul.
mileage. Like let me tell you. But we
Who's
had,
scared
like
of Darth Maul?
but like like those standard like 90s like posters of like
Yeah.
a cat or something you would just like put on the door, like maybe caution tape over the screen door, like nothing too exciting, but
Love it.
like $300 blow up shit, but
I
they were
always
spoopy and like jack-o'-lanterns obviously.
No
Oh, the
smoke
best.
machines. Or
Yeah.
we used to do a graveyard in our yard.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, that is fun.
And like, see, growing up with that has just made me realize if I am ever a mom and if I ever do have a house, I'm going fucking all out for Halloween. Like fuck Christmas lights. Although I'd go all out for that too. Shit.
Holidays are just good. You just go.
Yeah.
But like Halloween, if I had the money to do it, I would go all out.
Yeah.
The amount of
love
money
it.
I spent on Halloween decorations this year is unfair to myself and the people around me.
I'm having a little Halloween live stream situation on Saturday, and I need to figure out decorations for that. Oh my god! I'm hoping to just use the green screen and like do a chroma key and like put a backdrop on.
the fuck out of it. Make it like a spooky like woods or something.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
do the video of the pumpkin dancing.
Oh my god.
What was I going to ask? Okay, haunted houses, like the actual the haunted houses that you pay to go see.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I love them.
How do we feel?
I'm never afraid. Like I'm giggling like a fucking
Same.
schoolgirl
Really?
the entire time.
Well, it's like they can't
but
touch
I
me.
want it.
Yeah.
It's like first of all, you try to cut me, bitch. You'll lose your job.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I want it.
there was only one time I actually got freaked out in a haunted house, and I feel bad because like my friend was in front of me, and I used her for leverage, and like
That's
I was
me.
Like, bye, bitch. But it was because there was this guy, in like a clown suit that was following me like really closely, and was like, "What are you doing? Where are you going after this? Where are you going after? What are you doing after?"
Oh, he
and
was
I'm like,
talking to you?
yeah, and I'm like, this is way too close to shit that's actually happened to me. The fact that you're in a clown suit actually kind of makes it less scary, but I still don't like this.
Oh my god. See, I don't mind clowns. It's you know what it does it for me and what did it for me? So we went to the haunted corn maze a couple years ago.
The one in
and yeah, and I love a haunted house, and I don't really mind people jumping out and grabbing me. But chainsaws?
Oh come on.
No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I
But
love
they can't.
the fear
They saw
farm.
me, and I was the perfect target audience for them because I reacted. And you know how like some people like they just won't react, and then they don't do anything. No. I screamed and ran, and then they cornered me, and I could smell the gasoline, and it was terrifying.
I went.
And I had a panic attack, and I said, "I'm going to the car, guys. Bye."
I went to the Fear the Darkness in Alderney Landing with Amanda, who was also on the show. And we got outside, and there was a guy with the the chainsaw at the end, and he like went to me, and I was like,
What did
and
Amanda-
then he went to Amanda, and she ran away.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't show
You just
that you're
look them
scared.
in the eyes
Yeah,
and
just
laugh
look them
at
in the
them,
eye.
and they're just like, oh.
Yeah, do a fucking power stance. They can't do anything to
But
you.
I always see my mind because I have an anxious mind. It always goes to worst case scenario.
Like, what if this is an
Yeah.
escaped convict?
You got it. I always think,
Like, let it take me. This is my time.
this is where a murderer, if they were smart, would actually like go to murder people. They would like do the act and dress up like the person and then
fun.
actually do it.
Like, I mean, like at that point, like, good on you, bud.
Yeah.
Like,
No, like,
you know what?
if that happened to me,
this.
if I got murdered in a haunted house, I'd be like, you know what? It's just my time.
You know what?
If this is how I'm going to go, I'm not mad about it.
It feels right.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're like, she
So it shall
died as
be.
she lived in a haunted house.
Oh man, fuck. Yeah, no, they're pretty fucking terrifying.
Fucking love haunted houses. I love the Fear Farm. I'm really excited to get to go this year, and I just have no room in like the Halloween plans schedule.
Yeah, I want to go.
That's
I
the
wanted to
thing.
go to the Blood Fields, which Fear Farm. Yeah,
Yeah, I've been to like all of them. Like
but-
me and my boyfriend go every year and hit every single one of them.
all of my no
Holy
one I know
shit.
is like able to do it on a Saturday, so we have to go to another.
What's
That's
Fear
good.
Farm?
that's
Oh,
intro.
the corn
Yeah,
maze.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've heard about a couple other ones that are like, I've heard that Alderney Landing one is good.
I've heard the Alderney Landing one's too overpriced for what it is.
Good. The line is too long and it's overpriced. Like it's like a 2-minute thing. It's
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, I found that like the one in Truro is really expensive,
Yeah.
but it's so fucking worth it.
And you
6
get,
haunted
like-
houses.
Yeah,
Or
that's
4
legit.
houses, 2 mazes.
Two
but
mazes.
still,
You know,
that's $5 an attraction.
exactly. It's great. We're going to the one in by Kentville, the Phantom Sphere Freak Show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've heard of that one yet.
Went there last year. It's
Ooh.
actually a guy who does like actual special effects. We went last year. It was pretty great. At one point, they like take like a fake head and roll it at you.
Whoa.
What?
Right on.
Yeah, it was
That's
great.
amazing.
Yeah. And
See, I'm not a huge fan of the touch-in. Like, people jumping out and grabbing.
they give
Yeah,
do
no,
that
I'm
at
not a
haunted
huge
houses.
fan of that.
Sarah,
Space,
if they're
please.
doing that at a haunted house, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't touch you. Sarah, who touched you?
All of a sudden, the podcast takes a left turn. We're just going in a totally different territory. No, but like, as long as I'm not, being grabbed, like, wah, like stuff like that, I don't mind.
Grabbing me. She's demonstrating by
So
grabbing
maybe
me.
I should give the corn maze another try.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
check
now-
out the other houses that they do. Like,
Oh,
aside
yeah,
from
the houses are
aside
amazing.
from the corn mazes, yeah. Like, I love the phobia farm. Like, I love the one that's like, just like various rooms of different phobias.
Yeah.
Like that one's super cool with like dangling spiders in one room. I like the one that's like rope hanging from the ceiling, but it's supposed to emulate like electrical wires and they have really good sound effects.
Yeah.
I like the claustrophobia one where you're like basically being birthed in a
That
fucking wind
was
tunnel.
The wind
terrifying.
tunnel and oh yeah, that one's great.
But
So you
like
go in
it hits
and
the
you're like-
fears on point though, right? Like
Yeah.
it's really good at like the presentation's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal.
If you guys are in
Halifax.
Nova Scotia, check out the Fear Farms.
Fear Farms, yeah.
Can they send us money now?
Yeah, really though. That was like a
at least get a
10-minute
free
conversation
ticket?
about it.
Take payment.
Can you
free
stay
tickets.
open for next weekend just so I can actually go?
Or
That's all I
give
want.
us free tickets and tell those chainsaw guys to stay the fuck away from
Or like
me.
open on a Thursday or something. Like
Yeah.
you're just not working with my schedule, guys.
Weekday. Come on.
Yeah.
I think this is the main issue I have with Halloween this year is I didn't plan
Wednesday.
ahead and I didn't make plans ahead of time to like do all the stuff that I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I took
And
vacation.
now it's did you really?
I'm literally
That's
off on
smart.
Wednesday, like right through till the 1st. I full on took Halloween vacation.
Nice. Yeah, I need to do that sometime. Well, actually, I don't know if I mentioned this on the show, but I'm getting married soon. And
I don't know what that
I'm
was.
trying to convince my fiance to go to the Universal Horror Nights in in Orlando.
Orlando, yeah.
I would like for our honeymoon.
That's amazing, and
Yeah.
that wins.
Yeah, that's what
That
my
wins.
goal.
That's unreal. I can see you guys doing that for sure.
Well, I'm like me and Brent just being like,
Wait, are you a
All
Harry
right.
Potter fan too? Could you do that?
I like
The
Harry
Harry Potter?
that
Is
would
there?
be secondary.
Right. Yeah.
Like I like Harry Potter, but I like spook.
Because the Universal
spookiness
one
more.
doesn't wouldn't like Mike Myers come out and get you? Like it's like the
I would
characters from the
fucking
movies.
love that. I don't know if Mike Myers is.
Universal?
Yeah.
I love that we're calling him Mike Myers and not Michael Myers
excuse
because
me,
all I
that's
can
my
think of is
bad.
Mike.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, but nobody else is just thinking of like Wayne's World or Shrek or.
You
make
know
like
what?
an
Different
effort
movie.
there.
That would be a.
It's the same guy. Dun, dun.
Admission, I've seen none of the Halloween movies.
I've watched. I've
know.
seen most of them. I watched the recent one out in theaters.
Was it good? I have
It
not
was
yet.
very good. I really
Yeah?
like it. Jamie Lee Curtis is a badass.
See, I'm really bad at going to movies, so it needs to be fucking worth it, or I'm going to take a $15 nap.
Would recommend it if you
Okay.
like slashers.
I also hear it has good feminist undertones.
Yes, very much so.
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis is a fucking boss.
Yeah, I like-
You know, knows most horror movies always have the female lead come out on top.
Yeah. I
That is good.
There's a lot of problematic issues with the horror genre and their treatment of women, but they're also like one of the few movies I watched as a kid where there was like a lead female protagonist that was able to beat the villain.
right.
And it's almost always a lead female protagonist.
Yeah.
Like, they'll still throw in their sexist remark with the slut who dies first.
Yeah. Like, there's definitely problematic stuff, but like it was also like one of the only genres that had like there's a strong woman and
she's
she
the
is
hero.
kicking the ass of this
Yeah.
dude who is like
Right.
yeah.
That makes sense. I need to watch more. I feel kind of ashamed at how little horror movies I've watched. But I've come to realize that I don't do well with them.
Oh.
because I have like nighttime anxiety and like that's the shit I fucking can't sleep about all the time, having not even watched them. So I can't imagine what it would do to me if I started watching them.
I feel like maybe it would desensitize you.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like,
Because I feel like exposure to horror movies from a very young age
Yeah.
has caused me to be at such a point of psychosis that I'm not afraid of death. Let it take me.
Oh, damn. Shit, son.
I gotta say, I agree.
I'm absolutely terrified of it.
Like, I spend so much time like Oh wow, I feel like
Thinking
I'm
about
really
death?
like analyzing
This
myself
is
here.
well, this is the episode to talk about death on. It's a Halloween
Yeah,
episode.
but like I've like watching so many movies and just like immersing myself in like true crime stuff. Like I
that's
spent
true.
so much time thinking about death and what it would feel like to die. I've like almost come to terms with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
I'm
just
ready for
like-
I could die
yeah.
tomorrow and be happy with
Really?
it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I want to be where you guys are.
Like-
That seems like a good place to be.
Like it's just like the concept of death doesn't scare me.
No.
It's like the shit that goes
I mean,
on
like, I'd
before
rather
it.
not die.
Yeah,
like,
know.
I mean, I'm
like,
pretty content where I'm
yeah.
at right now. Like,
Do you guys remember any Halloween costumes that were particularly notable as children?
My mom made me a werewolf costume once. It was very nice.
That's adorable.
Yeah, she like stitched together a couple rugs and like dyed my hair with Kool-Aid. I was the coolest werewolf in town, man.
That's precious.
yeah.
I don't know if I had anything that memorable. At different intervals of time, obviously, because we're 10 years apart. Both me and my sister went as gypsies, but not without the addition of horrendously huge boobs.
Nice.
I'll never understand why these boobs were pivotal to our gypsy costume.
It really helped you embrace the
It
character.
was the exact same beige lace bralette. It was a 34B, and it was.
Oh my god.
I remember so vividly, and both Melody and I wore it, and we were stuffed to shit
Yeah.
inside a peasant blouse
That's
for
hilarious.
our respective gypsy costumes with massive tits
I did
for like
gypsy one year
10-year-olds.
For 10-year-olds.
Yeah, I
God.
remember
Like, I came
gypsy.
to school like that, and the teachers were like, "Frankie, you grew."
It's weird how like your parents, like, you know, when you're really young and your parents pick your costume, how that can kind of shape you. Because I remember in elementary school, my parents made me go as a cow. And okay, just listen. Listen. So in our elementary, we had
Does the internet know your name?
oh yeah.
Sarah Moo Cullen.
But in my school, they made you parade like, so the whole school would assemble, and then the different grades would like parade around the gym.
Okay, yeah.
And so
did that.
they did that, and I didn't know at that age, it was so young, right, that it was cool to do like a funny costume. I always thought Halloween costumes had to be scary. So when I walked around the gym, people started laughing and pointing
Oh.
because they thought my costume was cute and funny, because
Yeah.
it was.
And
I'll
you were
post it on
dressed like a
Instagram.
cow and they were pointing and
Yeah.
laughing.
And this is such psychological warfare, because I bawled because I was like, they all don't like my costume.
Oh no! I hate you, Mom and Dad.
And it was traumatizing. But
Oh
then,
my God.
Did it put you in a bed? Moo.
oh shit!
I'm sorry. I'm really
That's so
milking
bad.
these jokes.
But then, you know, there hits an age that you get more creative with costumes, and that's always the fun part. I went as Mother Nature one year, and I just did like flowers and butterflies all
Yeah.
over me, and I was like, that's pretty fucking cool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we talking about like kids' costumes still?
Well, we can go into adulthood. Like which ones stick out to you as your favorites, as the ones that you've done?
Mine would be last year's.
Ooh, what were you?
I was the sexy Babadook.
What's that?
Oh wow.
Babadook?
Yeah, that's a really like convoluted question.
Yeah.
Is
The
it?
Babadook's a monster from a horror movie.
Oh, which one? See, I don't know anything about horror
Babadook.
movies. See, I really don't know dick
Yeah,
about horror movies. This is my
I'll
problem.
admit I fell asleep during that movie, but
Yeah.
I at least know what
Yeah.
it is.
No, like I know this
I'm
is
gonna
like
Google it.
such the standard like horror movie nerd, but like
I need to know why. Like, what's the sexy element here?
Oh well, like it basically it was like a couple days before Halloween, and I was in school at the time. I was busy. Didn't really have I had like a sexy black dress, and I was like, sexy Babadook. I gotta
that
make
works.
this happen. My friend does makeup professionally, like face painting. So I got her to do my face as like the cartoony Babadook. And I had like a scraggly ass wig and the top hat. And
Okay, I'm
just,
looking at
like,
him now.
From neck up,
That is
total Babadook, neck down. ready to party.
I love it. I love sexy costumes that are like so not supposed to be sexy, but like not in an inappropriate kind of way. Like, I don't know if either of you are South Park fans.
Yeah.
Okay, I have this incredible desire to buy a sexy cop costume, but spend the entire night going, "Hey, I like snakes. You like them, and they grow and grow."
Oh my gosh.
If I don't like Fiona Apple, I don't give a rat's ass.
The sexy cop is one I haven't done yet.
Just sexy Bar Brady.
Yeah.
I don't know how to read. Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand.
Oh my god.
I fucking love
But like nobody would
costumes.
get it. And nobody would get it, but it'd be so good for the people that did. They'd be like,
That's
oh
the thing.
shit.
That's
I could get a snake. I could get a little light.
Oh, yeah, that sexy Babadook costume actually won me the costume
That's
of the night award.
amazing.
Yeah.
Did it
That's
really?
effective.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got $20 and a shot glass.
Holy shit.
I was the happiest sexy Babadook in the world.
I mean, yeah, there's some costumes that rely on like social interaction for them to work.
Absolutely.
I think that one would be.
Yeah, and it's just like unless I was in a room, like it wouldn't work at the club. Like I'd need to be at a house party with a bunch of South Park fans.
Right.
Otherwise nobody would get it, and it's just like, okay, Frankie's a sexy cop, which is equally like fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay to be seen as such, but like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you put like the thought and you want to be noticed as what you are. Yeah.
yeah.
I just like any thought and effort that anyone puts into a Halloween costume. Even if you buy your costume, and that's totally fucking fine, because I get it. Making a costume is a big thing.
Oh, it's
and
hard,
it's also,
and it's time consuming.
and it's also more pricey than people think. People
my
think
God,
it's
right?
cheaper. It's not.
Oh.
The little things fucking add up.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's
But
not.
if you even took a store-bought costume and then just like made it your own
Yeah.
with other things, I fucking appreciate that shit.
I once made
be
a
creative.
sexy mummy costume out of 9 rolls of medical gauze and a lot of hairspray.
That works.
Nice.
Ooh, that would be a good one.
Yeah, that was fun. It was very difficult to go pee.
I can imagine.
I needed assistance.
yeah. Those are
Wonder
always
Woman,
the-
I didn't pee the whole night
I don't blame you.
because I had the bodysuit underneath the corset
Oh God.
and I had tights under the bodysuit.
See, yeah, the
So
tights
think
fucked you
about
over.
those-
At least
I
up
fucked
until
that
that
up.
point, you could have done a to the side situation, but as the minute you
But
put
because
tights
it was
underneath.
like the Wonder Woman, like the actual, I didn't do a dress because I'm not,
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
that bitch. I did the straight up like bodysuit Wonder Woman.
Of course.
And I couldn't fucking pee the whole night. I don't think I got drunk at all that night, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite Halloween costume, although I've done a bunch of different things. I did
Yeah.
a
I
peacock
really
one
liked your
year.
peacock one.
Yeah, the
I saw
peacock
your
was
photo
really
of that.
good.
That was baby as fuck, dude.
Yeah, I love doing the peacock.
That was-
And I often think I had this talk with Corey yesterday about repurposing Halloween costumes because I don't believe in wearing the same costume twice, but I do believe in you can do the same costume again, just ramp it up more or do something different. Like if I was to do Wonder Woman again, it would be a totally different Wonder Woman.
Right.
It would be a totally different version of her, but I would do it differently and I would build on what I already have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I fucking love costumes and Halloween.
Same.
It's the
they're
fucking
so
best. It's so cool too. Like I went to the Halloween store with Brent and SG the other day,
Oh, yeah.
and it's so fun to go into a Halloween store as an adult.
Yes.
Because everyone is just so excited,
Yeah. And like
so joyous.
it always bugs me when people just don't like Halloween or like the festivity of it. It's like,
I think a lot of those people are people who don't like wearing costumes, and so they feel they can't enjoy the full. But I think
they
even
need
if you're
to
not a
learn
costume
to
person,
hate themselves more so they want to be someone else.
Right?
Yes. Amy, that's actually a great point because now that I'm thinking of it, the people I know who aren't costume people, yeah, that all makes sense. But it is the best. But let's get into some ghost stuff here, shall we? Because that's a huge part of Halloween. Although I appreciate the paranormal all year round. I'm kind of obsessed with it. I watch a lot of ghost adventures. Say what you will. It's a guilty pleasure, okay? Say what you will about ghost hunting shows, but I fucking love that stuff. But
You go for it, girl. I don't know why I added that girl. I'm sorry. I didn't mean both of us.
but let's go around the room and talk about our feelings on that. Because, you have believers, you have non-believers. I kind of fall in between. So I'm mostly a believer, but I take it with a grain of salt, in other words.
That's valid. That's
I
completely
take
valid.
it with a grain of salt. I don't fully believe in it. Like, I have a friend who just straight up didn't want to come over and be a part of this tonight because there's a Ouija board in the room.
Really?
I'm not that hardcore.
See,
know?
I don't. I don't, and I understand why people do, but I don't adhere to like the belief in it, but fear of it.
Right.
Like, I'm very welcoming to the idea of spirits or ghosts or various energies. Like, who am I to infringe on their existence? I shouldn't be afraid of it. They were here before me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I am a pretty strict non-believer.
Ooh, we got a mix in here today.
Yeah, I need to see something that would cause me to change my mind. And
Right.
I haven't yet.
I'm a big fan of debunking. So if something happens, like let's actually be realistic and try to debunk it first
Absolutely.
before we go
Yeah.
to. I think that there are some things that just sometimes cannot be explained, and that's fucking exciting as fuck, and I love that. But I am terrified of it because I do suffer from night terrors and sleep paralysis.
Ooh, okay. Good
So
to
I've
know.
had multiple
Rough, yeah.
mediums or psychics, and say what you will with that as well. Again, grain of salt. Big grain of salt. But I've had multiple people tell me, like, I gotta tap into that more and learn not to be so afraid, because if I'm actually not afraid, I might have the ability to actually talk to the paranormal. That's what I've been told. I don't know.
Do you see like scary shit at the end of your bed? Like I've never had sleep paralysis before.
Well, okay, the sleep paralysis, it's mostly shadowy figures.
Okay.
And like I don't actually see people, but a lot of shadowy figures. The night terrors though, those are more common with me. And with those, the scariest one that I had was in a new apartment actually. I'm just moved into this like new apartment, and I had a night terror where I literally saw a guy in a white t-shirt standing in my room.
Ooh.
And it was the first time that I had ever seen an actual person. Because I've always just seen figures, or I've seen the door move. Mm-hmm. I've seen the door start to open even though the door's not opening. But in my mind, I'm seeing it open.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling a presence come in. Mm-hmm. I've also heard voices, and that's where it gets really scary.
Oh.
Yeah.
And here's the scary part. It's not English.
I am also scared of illegal immigrants.
Amy!
I'm sorry. That was just.
But you know what I mean? Like,
No, I know.
they're saying things that
Also,
either...
I'm nuts.
That's so funny.
That was a joke.
That was great. That was actually perfect. But no, but
All the
it's,
delivery, really.
but I've had like it always happens to me when I'm on the verge of sleep. And I will either see something. I've often had times where I've thought bugs were in my bed,
Ooh, no thanks.
and that's a really scary thing. So for me, that teeters on paranormal, even though it's also, there's a lot of science behind it too. So it's like an interesting area of my life that really impacts me big time. I haven't had like really bad night terrors in a while, but I have what I call micro night terrors, which is like something jerks me awake and my heart races and I have to like take a moment to calm down. But yeah, that man in my room I screamed, blood hurdle scream. And if I could only get my parents on this podcast, they could talk about all the times that I've had night terrors as kids and like the scream that I would do. They told me, they're like, it sounded like someone was climbing in your window, the way you were screaming.
Oh my god.
That is so fucked up, dude. Are you
Yeah.
okay? Do you need a hug?
Yeah.
I'm good. I mean, I think I've gotten it pretty under control, but like it's shit
God.
like
That's
that
awful. Yeah.
that scares the shit out of me. And so when I see movies, like this show that I just watched, The Haunting on Hotel,
Such a good show.
Everybody watch it. They talk about there's a character there that has sleep paralysis,
Right.
And so when I saw those scenes, I was like, okay, you got me, because this is kind of my life. So yeah, it's insanity. Yeah, it's no fun. Are you guys like good sleepers, bad sleepers? Have you ever had anything like that, or seen anything?
Bad insomnia, but I'm usually not scared of like. I think the thing is like I have anxiety issues, and like I try to like focus on the fake scary stuff,
Right.
Because like this actual stuff I'm scared of is kind of like weird and like inconsequential.
Right.
I feel that so hard. I mean, like, I'm more afraid of my, like, upcoming bill than I am of Michael Myers climbing in through my window to murder me.
Did I, like, make proper eye contact today with my coworkers?
Oh, my God.
That's gonna keep me up at night.
Oh, God.
Like, much more than, like, any fucking ghost could.
So your anxieties are based in reality.
Yeah.
Whereas my anxieties, I think, are based on worst case scenario, fucking what the movies have shown me happen.
Although, like, I gotta admit, when I did, like, I went through this huge true crime, like, obsession, and, like, I'm still pretty into it, but, like, that fucked me up for a bit, just reading about, like, what's actually out there, and, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, God, I eat that up. I eat it.
No, I love it. Like, I
need
can't
it to live.
stop. But, like, at first, it was just, like, I couldn't stop thinking about, like, what if I get kidnapped? What if I get thrown in, like, a dungeon? Of like, that was what, like, my mind automatically went to, like, like, and now that I've kind of, like, I think you mentioned before, like, watching horror movies to, like, desensitize. Like, now that I've read a bunch more, I'm, like, kind of desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Like, not really. Like, I still feel, of course, for all the victims, and it's awful, and that, but, like, it doesn't...
Do you conduct your life differently?
Oh, yeah.
Same.
Interesting.
Yeah. But like I'm just hyper paranoid. I'm on a different level than I feel a lot of people when it comes to being scared of dying, because it's an irrational fear. I've talked about it many times on this podcast. I'd love to get a shrink on sometime and just have her talk to me about this, because I would love to know, like, I would love to be one of those people like you guys who isn't scared of it.
Yeah, like,
I'm absolutely terrified of it.
Like I said, I've, like, kind of come to the, like, I like some kind of, like, a peace with dying. It's like being in pain before that freaks me out. Like,
for me, it's a weird sense of nihilism. I'm like, none of it fucking matters. So if I die tomorrow, like, what?
Yeah, like I'm fine with like that.
That's
but
true.
Like, what if I die in, like, a horribly painful way? Like, I'd be fine with the death part, but, like...
I mean, like, yeah,
but
like, that would
before.
suck.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if I was in somebody's, like, dungeon or whatever, it's like death's at the end of the tunnel. Just gotta wait.
Holy shit!
All right, I need to get on that level.
Jesus Christ!
I have the patience of, like, a Buddhist monk, I swear to God, unless I'm in traffic.
I feel like we're, like, entering some kind of, like, religious cult zone where, like, we need to donate a certain amount of money to
I have it in works. It's a great way to make money.
Did you guys ever used to pretend to be witches?
I have considered myself a witch since I was 10 years old.
Ooh. Ooh. Well, we used to pretend. I don't think we actually did it, but, like, you know, the craft
Yeah.
was very influential
Practical
to me.
magic.
Yeah.
Practical magic!
Nicole Kidman was my sexual
excited.
awakening in that movie.
Everyone
I swear to
talks about
God.
Hocus Pocus. Listen, I love me some Hocus Pocus. Practical Magic is
Practical
one of my favorite
fucking magic.
Halloween movies.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh my God.
I know.
Amy.
Now I need to.
No, you need to. You'll love it.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. We used to, like, do the whole call the corners thing. But, like, I don't think it was a legit thing. I'm actually very excited because we got some ghost stories from some listeners.
Oh, that's fun.
So these aren't very long. So let's read them. And then we'll get to the seance because we know we waiting for that. So this one is really fucking well written. I think this person has either an English background or a writing. There's got to be something going on because it's great. We ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay. So this is from my friend Jessica. And she says... Ghost experience. Here we go.
Shout out to Jessica.
Shout out to Jessica. This is amazing. So I'm not sure what I believe or what really took place that night, but what I know for certain is that I can't 100% not believe because of it. Lots of double negatives in there. I've always had trouble falling asleep, but this night was proving particularly difficult. The warm summer air, ooh, feel it. The warm summer air was heavy and the sheets stuck to me like a wet washcloth. I lay awake in the dark thinking about my upcoming 9th birthday. Holy shit, she was young. 9th birthday. And resenting the sleeping sounds of the house. And then there's a colon and says, my mother's soft snores, my brother's deep and heavy breathing, my father's loud and jerky snores drifting up from his bedroom downstairs. I had a snoring dad too. I fucking feel that so hard. Oh my God. The snoring. The clock ticked its way further into the late hours of the night while I threw my covers off and tossed and turned, begging for that sleeping feeling. I heard footsteps in the hallway, assuming it was my dad coming upstairs for a midnight snack. But how could he be snoring downstairs and walking upstairs in the hall at the same time? My skin felt tingly and cold, and I slowly and soundlessly pulled my comforter tightly around my body, all the way up to my chin, and I trained my unwilling eyes on my doorway, wishing that what I was hearing turned out to be a mouse, a bat, a burglar, which I'm like, you would hope for that? That would be terrifying. Anything but what I was beginning to be certain of. My door frame, this is what I experience all the fucking time, by the way. My door frame darkened with a shadow, despite the blanket of the darkness, which already covered everything. And through the dark, I saw two red eyes looking at me. Its hand slowly lifted, and he pointed a long, steady finger at me. I was a statue under the covers. My body felt like a lead weight. I'm not even sure I was breathing. He crooked his finger in a come with me gesture.
Oh.
I know. Slowly and deliberately. I found myself shaking my head, though I don't remember thinking to answer the request. He gestured again, and this time I empathetically, but wordlessly, declined his appeal. I covered my head and waited for those black shadow arms to drag me away.
Is that the end?
Nope.
Oh,
We
okay.
got
Sorry.
That's fucking terrifying, though, right? I know, right? I woke the next morning, my head still under the comforter, and there was a distinct sweaty musk hanging in the air. I'll never know if what I saw was real or imagined, but I know I'll never deny the possibility of a world beyond our own.
Oh shit.
That was really well
Wasn't
written.
that so good?
That was great.
Oh my
that
God.
was
I know.
amazing.
And I feel that,
That was like
it's always
high-tier
the
creepypasta.
And the reason I like that is because, like, I always get the darkening doorway. I've never seen eyes, but I've seen things come through my door multiple times. And so I feel that so hard. And when that happens, you're paralyzed. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so red eyes. Ooh.
Ugh.
Right? I know.
That's, terrifying.
That's a hard nope.
No.
That's a hard nope. Yeah.
I'd, burn the house to the ground.
Actually,
Away.
never speak to me or my son ever again.
Yeah.
Is real
Take my
bad.
cat and leave.
I thought that was really well written, and
Yeah.
you should probably write a book. Just saying.
Damn, Jessica.
I have another one, and this is actually based here in Halifax. So this is Point Pleasant Park.
Are we all going to take turns reading? Or?
Oh, do you want to?
Sure.
You can read this, yeah. This is from my friend James, who's going to do an episode very, very soon on conspiracy theories. We're going to do a conspiracy theories episode.
Fun. Any spoilers as to what theories?
Yeah, what kind of conspiracy theories?
I don't know. I think we'll probably go real, real dark.
I like it.
I also really want to
Ooh.
talk about lizard people.
Okay. Lizard people. So you're
Yeah.
going to talk about Jimmy Savile?
Would love to. I'm down. I love conspiracy theories. I don't believe in them. Like, this is what people, like, when I say this, people are like, that's so ridiculous. I was like, I don't believe in them. I just like that they exist.
Yeah, same.
Interesting as shit. Yeah.
I love
don't-
just the deep dive into well, this is fucking nuts. I want to learn more.
I never
Right?
wanted to hang out with Charles Manson. I just wanted to read about him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just want to be his best friend.
Yeah, that too.
It.
Yeah.
Okay, we ready? Point Pleasant Park. Picture it.
All right, I have no idea what this is. Sarah just handed me a phone. I used to drink it. This is by who is this by?
James.
Shout out to James.
Shout out, James.
I used to drink at the Fort in Point Pleasant Park every Friday night a few summers ago. Though it was a super peaceful place after dark that my friends and I could get away to and have a few beers while enjoying the ocean. One Friday while we were leaving around 1 a.m. and walking along the trail to the park, we had seen a shadowy figure up ahead. As we passed them and turned around, it appeared to be a woman looking up at the sky, not moving, dressed in a full white gown, almost hospital-like in appearance. We all got creeped out and took off as soon as she was out of sight. We returned the following Friday, laughing about how weird and creepy the previous week was, and that it must have just been a homeless woman. When we were leaving around the same time, we saw a shadowy figure up on the trail ahead of us. I started to get this, cold chill on my body. And as we passed, it was the same woman from the week before. looking up at the sky,
So
wearing the
freaky.
same gown.
Ooh.
I
Right?
didn't even wait to turn the corner this time, and we all just ran at that point. After I started reading about all of the murders that have happened in Point Pleasant Park over the years. Needless to say, we don't go as often.
Yep. So there apparently was a murder. There was a couple murders in Point Pleasant Park
Not surprised.
back in the 80s.
Not surprised.
And I did look it up, and I don't want to read it just because I'm not a true crime podcaster. There's a lot of like gory details in it that I don't know how to like digest. But like there was like James told me about it. So after that, I was like, holy fuck, that's terrifying. Because the idea of like someone escaping a hospital, because that's kind of where you might run to if you escape. I don't know. You might.
Totally.
You might.
Why wouldn't you hide in Point Pleasant? There's so many places to hide.
So, like, James continues to say, I read a story about how in the 70s, I believe, there was a killer who kidnapped a 16-year-old boy and took him to Point Pleasant Park, butchered him, and hung him between two trees.
Shit.
Yeah. Part of a satanic cult or something. And that guy's name was James Odo. O-D-O. And if you actually Google that, and you Google James Odo, Point Pleasant, Halifax, there's a shit ton of articles from the 80s all about this.
Interesting.
Very terrifying. Although I don't think that there have been anything recent there.
Not that I recall.
But like you always hear about, I mean, there's multiple places in Halifax that are haunted. Citadel
Oh
Hill.
my god, Halifax is so fucking haunted. It's not even
Five
funny.
five fishermen.
Oh, dude,
super
so many
haunted.
stories. I'm
Yeah.
assuming you've both done the ghost walk.
Oh, yeah.
I've done it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only done it the once, but like, yeah, like Halifax is haunted. This whole province is haunted as shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
We're older than the country is, theoretically. Like,
Once
Halifax has been a city longer than Canada's been a country. That's a lot of history.
yeah, and also just
Pirates and hookers.
yeah, explosions.
That too. Oh shit.
Yeah, like
Explosions.
once again, I don't believe in ghosts, but if I were, the Halifax explosion would have caused a fuck ton
Just
of
a
them.
ghost or two, you think?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah.
one or two.
It's a great fucking city if you're into that.
Totally.
There's a lot of. I used to work at a hotel that was haunted.
Ghost stories, alcoholism, unemployment. Fuck yeah, Halifax. Let's go.
Okay, we have
We're not the highest diabetes rate in Canada, though,
there we
so
go,
we've got
we got
that.
something.
Yeah.
We got
Also, we
something
smoke
over
the
us.
most marijuana. We
Yes!
did it, guys. We made it.
Oh my god, I forgot about intoxicated. I should have rolled us a joint because it's legal now,
Oh yeah.
so we can say that.
Yeah, but it's not fun anymore.
We said the word joint. Did you hear that, kids?
Intoxicated.
Drugs.
Get
now
out.
that it's
Debauchery.
legal, I lost the rush.
That's true. Now that it's legal, I feel more paranoid.
My favorite thing is just like, do you think anybody woke up Wednesday morning and was like, oh my god, I'm trying pot today?
No, I'm sure
My
there are
mom.
some people.
My mom, I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
adorable.
there are definitely some, like, I think, like, older people who are just like, oh, well, I might as well
No,
try
see,
it
I'm
now.
like, I hope to God that there was literally someone my age that was like, no thanks, not for me, it's illegal. And then woke up Wednesday morning and was like, fuck yeah, I've been waiting this day.
Not gonna lie, I, like, rarely ever smoked pot before it became legal, but I've gotten high pretty much every day since.
That's valid.
Yeah.
I mean,
just, like,
I just have not changed a single one of my habits.
No.
I've been more liberal at the smoke in my apartment because it's not technically banned until January 1st.
nice. Yeah, it's, like, actually kind of
nice.
harder to smoke, I find.
Oh my god, right? It's
now
not
that
even-
it's legal.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about it, right?
Yeah.
We have one more story. Should
Okay.
we read it? Frankie, do you want to
Yeah,
read it?
I can do that.
So this is from my friend Kara Jones. Miss Kara, thank you.
Shout out.
Fenwick Towers, this has to do
Fenwick
with.
Towers. I know lots of people that have lived there, so that's good to know they might have been affected
I
by
like
these
that
things.
these stories are kind of about ones that are lesser known because, yeah, they're
All right.
friends.
I was creeped out living in Fenwick Towers. I kept having this dream about this man who would stand at my door and desperately try to speak to me, but nothing would come out of his mouth. I always experienced weird things like premonitions and visions since my near-death experience. I was having a conversation with my roommates about ghosts, and my very skeptical roommate, Leslie, told me that there was always a logical explanation for everything. So I challenged her and said, do you mean to tell me that if your ancestor showed up at the end of your bed tonight, you wouldn't even be a little freaked out? She went on to tell me she would logically look at the vision and analyze it and that she didn't believe in ghosts. I laughed and we said, well, I disagree with you. In fact, I know we are not alone in this room right now. In fact, there is someone standing over there by the stereo. She laughed and said, trust me, there is no one over there by the stereo, Kara. We had this old 1980 stereo with a record player and cassettes. In order to play the cassette, you have to push down the buttons very hard. We rarely listened to it loudly in our apartment, but the second Leslie said that, the stereo came on full blast and so unbelievably loud.
Holy shit.
Cranked to 11, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's insane.
We all ran to the other end of the apartment, and Leslie started bawling, saying, I cannot explain that. I cannot explain that.
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. There's some things that, like, you just can't, like she said, you got to press the buttons hard. You know, so it's not like...
It wouldn't have just been like the wind or
yeah,
accident.
exactly.
Yeah.
I totally believe in debunking, but there's just some things that I think cannot be explained.
That can be passed on.
Yeah, but
Isn't that
like,
crazy?
I mean, there's no proof of that to me that happened. Not that I'm
That's
saying
true.
that your
But
friend
there's
isn't
also no
telling
proof
the
that it
truth,
didn't
but
happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where my open mind lies.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can tell me that maybe there's an explanation for something, but you can't necessarily tell me that ghosts aren't real.
That's true.
Yeah. Well,
That's
it's
true.
like, what is it? You can't prove something doesn't exist. Like it's like with God. The onus is on the
Well, yeah,
people
no,
like who
you can't
believe
prove
to
that God
it
does exist,
exists.
but you can't
Yeah.
prove that God doesn't exist. You can't prove that ghosts do exist necessarily, but you can't prove that they don't.
Yeah, but the
It's
onus
the
is
middle.
on the people who believe to prove that it does.
Yeah.
That
Right.
they do exist.
Whereas I'm like, until I get the proof, I'm gonna keep an open mind.
Yeah. Huh? That's interesting.
Like, if I have proof, like, don't get me wrong, I will skeptic your ass out of town, but...
Right.
No, and I'm like, if I find something that like proves that it happens, I'm like 100% I will start
I
to
think
believe. But like
Totally.
until then, I like
You lie on the more open-minded of the Skeptic?
Skeptic.
I'm probably on several spectrums.
But you know what I mean? Like, you seem to be a more open-minded skeptic than
Well, I just
a lot
don't
of
get
other
why
skeptics.
so many people have like anger about other people believing in
Right.
ghosts. Like it's
Yeah, that's a bit
Does
much.
this offend
Just-
you?
no, I don't like people believe what they believe. Like I'm not gonna
Exactly.
get angry someone's like
Yeah.
religious. I'm not gonna get angry someone believes in ghosts. It's still
Yeah.
a
It's personal.
belief. Yeah,
I have
it's
this
like
weird-
everyone has a different life.
I have
and
this weird
different-
thing
Oh
where
my
I feel
gosh,
like
really?
I want to believe it
Yeah,
so
I
bad
know,
that I'll never see anything. Like, I've never seen anything. I've felt things, and I've seen like shadowy situations, but like,
Yeah, I'm not sure if I 100% believe in apparitions.
right.
Seeing, like, full figures.
I just can't imagine that. It just doesn't
like-
seem.
Like, I had an ex-boyfriend of mine that claimed, like, he'd seen people in one of the, like, abandoned houses on the mountain sort of thing. But, like, I've never seen an apparition, but I have felt dramatic temperature changes.
Yeah,
I have
same.
felt, presences and that sort of thing, or just little things like a breeze in a completely closed room, like
Yeah.
that sort of shit. But I've never seen what most people would call a ghost. But, like, in that same regard, matter cannot be created or destroyed. So, like, I feel like the energy's got to still linger somehow.
Yeah. And you go into, especially in Halifax, you go into these places with so much history attached to it. Like, I used to work at Pier 21.
Ooh.
And
Spooky as
the thing
shit.
is, not only was there a lot of people in and out of there was a lot of emotion attached to that
Oh,
place.
God, right?
You know, like sadness and
migration,
happiness.
yeah.
So like
Yeah.
the mixture of like really happy emotions, people coming home, or really
Or
sad
escaping
emotions.
bad
escaping,
scenarios.
yeah.
Exactly.
Lots of refugees.
For
So
freedom,
like
yeah.
that fucking place, like, I mean, I used to work there even in the nights because I did the events, and I would have to close down the museum at night.
Oh, that's spooky.
It's terrifying, and you just always felt like you were kind of being watched. And I felt the same way when I was at Santa Vex. Actually, I lived in the residence that was haunted. It was the all-girls residence called Mount St. Bernard. It was attached to this other residence called Gilmora, which was where a nun had committed suicide like a long, long time ago. I guess she had like gotten pregnant by a priest,
Interesting.
Felt-
Drama,
too guilty about it, and committed suicide.
which is also a sin.
And that fucking residence, yeah, they're shitting there. I've never seen her, but it's just that feeling of being watched. I don't know what it is. I can't even really explain it.
Yeah.
But it's this feeling of like someone's eyes are on me right now. But there's
Honestly,
nothing
even in like a positive kind of sense of that, like not to get like too dark or like too heavy with it, but since my father's passing a little over 2 years ago, he's around. He's
Really?
totally around. Like, if it's something weird, like, one of his favorite songs just happens to be starting at the exact moment I turn on my car, or little moments like that, or little things where something could have gone wrong, but I feel like there was some sort of divine intervention.
He was there for
Oh,
it.
I
Yeah,
forgot.
and like
Wow.
I'm usually very skeptic about that sort of thing, but like since his passing, like I find him everywhere.
Wow, shit.
Like,
do you
and I
find
don't
dimes?
think he's like, pardon?
Do you find dimes? Apparently finding dimes is...
I mean, I literally
Someone
found
you-
a dime in that coat pocket when I put it on, but
Ooh,
like,
bitchin'. There
it
you
was
go.
also next to a lip gloss and a Taz Records gift card.
Apparently that's...
Oh man, Taz record gift cards are like the next big after dimes, like the biggest proof of a ghost.
Oh my god.
Did you, Frankie, have you ever thought about going to a medium?
I would love to, just because I like whether my father was dead or not. I would be interested in
Okay,
that.
sweet.
But totally.
Because I'm actively trying to get not a psychic. I don't want to get into
Yeah.
tarot cards, but I want an
because I could read
legit
your tarot
medium.
cards, like-
And the thing is finding a medium who's willing to do it on a podcast. But
That's the
I'm,
thing.
I'm looking around
Okay.
because I would love to do that.
That would be fun as
And
fuck.
what I actually want to do for that
Maybe
episode.
if you can't get a medium, you should try a small.
Amy!
I was gonna say a mean or a mode, but all right.
But what I would love to do is get a believer and a non-believer, both of which who have had loved ones passed, and get them on the same episode with the medium
That would be fun.
to see.
Just that's really interesting for sure.
Like both people who have had people pass, but like of two beliefs.
Right. That's super
And not
interesting.
tell the medium like
Yeah.
that there's a skeptic here, but just like have them do their thing
That would be so interesting.
and see if they
Yeah.
pick up on anything. Because I happen to have had friends that have had crazy experiences with mediums.
That's nuts. Oh my gosh. That'd be
Like
so
very specific things
so
that like
fun.
there's no way, even any amount of Facebook stalking. There's
yeah,
no way.
That's super interesting. Oh my god.
So shall we do our seance now, shall we?
I'm into that thought.
So should we talk a bit about the actual Ouija board first? Like what? So it's a polarizing thing, what I've come to learn. Some people are terrified of it.
Oh yeah. Well, like that makes sense. Like growing up, my mom would never allow a Ouija board in the house because she was very Catholic.
Yeah, my mom not even being Catholic, but on, a less intense spectrum of, Christianity, was also like, that is, devil worshipping
Yeah.
stuff. Get that out of my house.
I'll not just have whatever that could open in my house.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she was totally fine with me doing Scrabble piece seances in the basement with Dad. But
Yeah.
I'm not here to judge, friends.
Well, that's the thing about Ouija boards. It's like you can make your own easy.
Oh, why, thank you. But yeah, no, like it's super easy. All you need is an alphabet and an ability to transcribe.
Yeah, in
And it's an oracle, like any,
Yeah.
like, that's all it is, just the same as using pendulums, using scrying balls, using tarot cards, even astrology. All those things are various methods of divination.
yeah.
And so I've had many, because we had a Ouija board growing up, and we used to always fucking use that thing. And I think the only time that I ever did it where it was scary was I did it with a friend, and like the initials of like her grandfather came out. But again, like grain of salt, like initials, like I don't know, like it's one of those things where who's to say? And that's the thing with the Ouija board, like you don't know if someone's moving it. I guess maybe you just have to be in a circle of trust and be like, we all ain't moving this shit.
Yeah. Just don't play Ouija board with assholes.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
not
like,
assholes here.
That's the thing, is whether you're skeptic or not, just realize that it's a fun game and keep
Exactly.
an open mind. Don't ruin it. Because I have had friends that ruined it. Like,
Yeah.
I was once doing a seance with a couple friends, and my one buddy wrote, just like, Matt is gay, ha ha ha. And it's just like, buddy, like,
But what if Matt took it seriously? What if he's like, what do the spirits know?
yeah. But like it's all pseudoscience. There's a lot that goes into it. It is just subconscious energies. You are in fact moving the plankette.
Yep.
Um,
Micro movements, just everyone kind of moving as a whole, like consciousness.
I do
Right.
believe
Which I
not
never really
necessarily
thought
a
that way.
spiritual connection, but I do believe that it's that link between you and your subconscious, so that it can tell you a lot of things about yourself that you don't know. And that's what I use divination for. Like, again, like I've been a self-proclaimed witch for like 10 years, but on like a very, very small scale.
I picked the perfect person for the Halloween episode.
Really? Like, I'm sure there are quote unquote witches out there that are much more qualified than I. I have just been fucking around since I was like 10. But
Actually, Kelly from Broom Closet Tarot, and the Neighborhood Witch, because they're attached to them. She did one of my tarot card readings.
Interesting.
Last December, and I gotta say, listen to the episode back. Found like it wasn't fully accurate, but more accurate than other tarot card readings that I've had. She's phenomenal.
Because it's a look into your own subconscious. That's all it is. It's just telling you things that your conscious self does not know, but it's all within you. So, like, I don't necessarily believe in, like, you know, a spirit talking to me, but I do believe in the conduit to what I already know.
Right.
So we do have we do a small set of rules.
Okay.
Just in regards to respecting the Ouija board, conducting the seance. It's a little ways down the list here, but we need to move those candles.
Okay, let's move it.
So
No candles here.
do not place a lighted candle or any type of liquid on the same table where you are attempting to work a board. A candle may be placed on a nearby table. So you're going to have to move your drinks as well.
Put one there.
Yeah. You can probably leave the laptop there, just as any liquids.
Right, okay.
And I think the lighting in here is good enough that we'll be fine. So obviously, never operate the device when you are alone in the house or apartment. Never assume that if you place a crucifix or religious object on the table that it will eliminate all danger. God will not protect you.
That's metal.
Christ.
Yeah. That's going to be the fucking
Can
title
I
of my first
operate
album.
this after 3 glasses of wine?
Holy shit.
Do be certain that there is an open window somewhat nearby. There must be some source of ventilation.
We need to open a window?
We might crack it a bit, yeah. And yeah, this book that I'm reading is called How to Use a Ouija Board. Very simple. It's a super cute book by Michael St. Christopher, and it was purchased at Neighborhood Witch, my favorite little shop in the city, to be honest. Aside from my own pleasures and treasures, buy all your sex toys.
A fantastic little spot.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love going into that store. I haven't been since they switched locations, mostly because I get frustrated when I can't find parking. But
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I need to go there so badly.
And they do good tarot card readings. So go see them.
I've
And
been
the
working
prices
on
aren't
tarot myself,
bad. The prices aren't bad.
Buy them every day when I come home from work. I'll have to drop
Interesting.
by sometime.
Interesting.
You should have, I mean, there's lots of stuff in there. There's like jewelry and lots of
yeah,
cool
yeah.
things. I
Even
like,
they have little like spell bath bombs that will like kind of they're kind of like not like a ward spell, but kind of like something that's supposed to either like protect your home or bring a certain energy into your
I like
life.
that.
Like they're really cute.
And you
Yeah.
get to smell nice and have
Exactly.
is there anyone that can bring in the dick?
In every way.
I mean, maybe.
Could be some rose quartz. Just cover my room with rose quartz.
Maybe.
Bring
Venus
it.
is in retrograde. You'll get the dick soon, honey.
At least it's not Mercury.
There we go. It's coming, November.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Told you, like, I won't stop when it comes to astrology. Take frequent rest periods, getting to your feet and stretching your body. Take deep breaths and oxygenate your circulation.
So we have to stretch.
Yeah, I would say get a little stretcheroo going. The blood flowing. When you have completed a session, be certain to eat a piece of fruit or something sweet.
Something sweet?
I feel like our cider/wine can cover fruit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If not, I have Diane
Wine
candies
is
from
basically
IKEA.
liquid grapes. So
It has been discovered by parapsychological researchers that the use of ESP depletes blood sugar as well as potassium.
Damn.
about the use of
Interesting.
ESPN?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that just ups your blood level, like alcohol levels.
Just rage.
yeah, actually.
ESPN. I'm pretty sure I have ESPN. Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, what is it?
Never drink any form of alcohol
Let's do it.
So we'll just pretend we didn't read that one.
I mean, we didn't drink a lot.
No. It says any, but you should not be taking any form of drug while performing this type of activity, especially any barbiturate, upper or downer heart stimulant, so no cocaine.
Every drug.
Oh, wait. Okay, hold
Every drug.
The use of marijuana or any recreational drugs is also discouraged.
So this is not a good intoxicated episode.
No
then,
steroid hormones, no allergy medications.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
I mean, all right. I think just for this one seance, we can take a chance.
Let's just take a chance. It's a podcast
if I
seance.
end up possessing your apartment, you can fully blame me.
Well, one thing I want to ask you is the idea of opening and closing sessions.
Right.
Very important, right?
It is. So basically, I don't really necessarily perform any ritual to open my sessions. I usually just place my 2 fingers on the board and I start trying to communicate. I just dive balls deep right into it. I will not end a session without saying goodbye, and I try to get them to say goodbye also. If the plankette doesn't move to goodbye, I do feel very uncomfortable with it.
Okay.
I don't feel like the session is over. I feel like they still have something to say.
Okay.
Or-
Is that like a you're worried the
It's
ghost
not-
is still
they're
here,
trying to-
or like a socially awkward, like, do
kind
they
of
like
like
me?
first
Yes,
of all,
no?
kind of both. Like, you know, when you're not sure if someone's story is over, if they're just pausing for like reaction, or if they're done talking.
Oh, like I asked Sarah if the story was
No,
finished
actually,
earlier.
because that was legit. Because I was
Because when I-
actually wondering the same thing. But
Yeah.
it's not necessarily that I think the spirits are still here. I just, out of respect for the Ouija board, I want to close the conversation, and I want it to be mutual between me and the converser.
Of course, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Exactly. But anyway, we're just gonna ignore rule number 7 there about the alcohol and the drugs.
We're rule breakers on Intoxicated.
It's rule 7. It's fine.
Yeah. If it were important, it would be one of rules 1 through 5.
There is no rule 8.
Oh.
I've noticed. So rule 8 is probably, presumably, at least to my
Rule 8 was
level,
the most
is you
important
can
one.
have all of the weed and drugs and alcohol
Yeah.
that you want.
Rule 8
That was-
is ignore rule 7.
Yes, exactly. Rule number 9 is do not fall into the habit of using the board every day or every evening. It is wiser to utilize this device only once or twice a week and to not let it become a habitual activity. Lastly, be alert at all times and in control of the situation.
Okay.
So that's a little bit of context for our session here. I do know how to work the Ouija board. I do know how to conduct a seance. They do have some like sample questions that we can ask and some simple ways to get the board going.
Can we all reach? Is this a good level?
I can
maybe
scooch
we
over and like monkey arm this a bit.
Yeah, maybe we should, like, I feel like I have the largest wingspan of anyone here.
Okay.
So maybe I should move over to you and you should be like right in front.
I feel like hold on, I can jimmy this. I'm not even trying yet.
There we go.
All right,
Yes.
So let's reconfigure this
There you
microphone
are.
here. All right.
That should be good anyway.
Yeah, like I can
Yeah.
reach from there and you can kind of
Perfect.
hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna quickly do a little skim here to make sure that there isn't anything else that we need to be completely aware of before we start. This is mostly just like don't work alone stuff, contacting spirits.
And we're all
I think I'll flag it on the sample questions so we have some things that we can talk about. Also, in case anybody was wondering, Ouija, which is obviously Ouija, which is the 2 words for yes, is technically a registered trademark of Parker Brothers and should be capitalized every time it's printed.
So now you'll all go back to the first part of this podcast, and when I said the yes board,
Yeah, now it'll all make sense to you
you'll give a
guys.
hearty laugh.
And you'll also realize why I laughed and nobody else did.
Oh, I didn't get it.
Yeah, you laughed though. I was...
Yes, it just sounded funny.
Interesting. All right, so I think we're doing all right. Okay, I have some sample questions here. So basically, what I think we should do is, like I said, just place each of us 2 fingers. I recommend the dominant hand.
Oh, okay.
I've never done it that way. I've always
Okay.
done it this way.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah, this is too much light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Yeah.
And we do actually touch it.
Yeah, we do actually
See,
put our hands
that's-
on the plankette.
That's
Very lightly.
something that I don't think I used to do when I did Ouija.
Did you like?
I don't think we were
move on
doing.
its
I
own?
don't think we were doing it
Because
right,
now
I
I'm a
think
little bit more disturbed.
Yeah,
I think we
because
were hovering. when we-
Sarah, if it moved on its own, that is legit demonic possession.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
But basically, yeah, I would say we put our 2 fingers on the plankette, our dominant hand, and then we will start to basically open the circle and ask if there's anything out there that would like to converse with us. I would also like to preface this by saying, again, I am in no way, shape, or form what some people would consider a professional witch. I've just been fucking around hard since I was 10.
I should also say we are right by a graveyard.
We are at the explosion / Titanic graveyard. It's also
Ooh,
one of the unspoken rules of
Here we
Ouija.
go.
Never actually take it to a graveyard.
And I
That's
also
a lot of bad juju.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're not too far from a lot of dead people.
A lot of spirits.
I feel like something's moving.
Really?
Okay. Well,
I don't know if it's.
So
like
are we
this.
pressing hard or just
no, a very
No,
light
lightly,
pressure,
light,
like
right.
literally just enough
feel
that
like-
you're touching it, but like not enough
Just
that you
like
could
the
move
surface.
I feel like I need to like hold.
it. Just steady your own hand and
'Cause I
like
have
very
a-
light pressure. All right. Hello, we are opening our circle to any spirits that wish to talk to us. We are hoping to converse with friendly spirits. Is there anybody out there with anything to say? If there is anything or anyone out there that would like to communicate with us, please move the plankette to the word yes when you are ready. And I would probably suggest each of you repeating something at least along those lines, basically welcoming any spirits to the circle and asking if they have anything to speak to us. I do urge them to do something very tangible, like move to the word yes, or something very obvious so that we know there is something there.
If anyone is out there, could we welcome you into this conversation? And if you would, if you are out there, could you please move the plankette to yes to show that you are with us?
What Amy said.
You can't ditto my talk to the undead. Or dead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we welcome friendly spirits to this apartment, and hopefully, and we ask that you do move the what's it called?
The plankette.
Blanket for us.
I've always pronounced it planchette.
Plankette, planchette, whichever way you want to, really.
Okay.
I feel a slight presence. If there is someone there ready to speak to us, please move the planchette to yes. Is there anyone out there who would like to speak to us? Anyone at all?
How long does it normally take before there's an answer?
Usually I have to ask quite a few times before it usually gets going. It's sometimes kind
I
of...
felt something.
I did too. Usually it's kind of slow going as it tries to inch along. Kind of have to coax it into... It will kind of pick up speed once it gets comfortable. We are providing a welcoming environment for any friendly spirits who would like to communicate with us. If there is anyone there, please move the plankette towards the yes on the board. If there is anyone there, please speak with us. I feel a slight movement. If you are there, please try to speak with us. You guys should try again.
If anyone is there, can you please move to yes? And let us know that you're here.
If any spirit is here, if you could please move to yes to show us that you want to speak to us because we want to speak to you.
Yeah, I felt it. Did you?
I felt something.
I didn't feel anything.
It was like a rumbling. Did you feel that?
I felt a slight shift towards you.
Which is like, where's yes and now?
Yes is on that corner, so it is maybe an improvement. If you are there and would like to speak with us, we are ready. We are here. We are welcoming. We are friendly. We wish you no harm. We would just like some spirits to communicate with. So if it does turn out that it doesn't work and nobody would like to speak to us, I can think of a number of reasons as to why. But I'm going to keep the mind open because I felt quite a few small movements.
I did too.
If there's anyone out there we would love somebody to speak with, if you are there, would you please give us any sign? Any sign that you wish to communicate with us? Any sign of a presence? So I don't know if I'm imagining this, but I almost felt the board move a little as opposed to the actual.
Are you?
I could be losing it.
Eyes? Are we supposed to be shutting our eyes or no?
No, not necessarily. I sometimes close my eyes. I sometimes stare down at the blanket, try to like focus some energy into it.
It's all about patience.
It is. And that's the thing too, is sometimes it can take quite a while before
Whoa.
a seance really starts.
Did you feel something?
Did you?
No. I haven't really felt anything.
I've been feeling very small shifts. And sometimes that is how it starts. Sometimes it only moves like not even half a centimeter before it really gets going. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Someone out there? Is there somebody ready to speak with us? If there's anyone out there, we would love to communicate. I feel like the board is moving.
I felt that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost snagging on the board a little bit.
Do we know it's not?
We can lift our fingers and we can try to reassess. Maybe we
It
should-
is kind of a rougher board.
It is a little bit. There might be a little bit more helpful. Maybe we'll do a little stretch.
That was pretty
So like
meditative in a weird way.
baby steps.
Baby steps.
And obviously, if this takes too long, you can just edit huge
Yeah,
chunks of
I feel
time
like-
out of your final audio.
Oh, I'm listening to that silence, guys.
Yeah, you listen to it, yeah, for sure.
Any EVPs? I really want something to happen.
See, part of me is wondering if it could very well be the fact that we're recording.
Should we stop recording and maybe just see?
I mean, I don't know if you would like.
We could. It's just silence anyway.
I don't think I've ever had a problem with the consumption of alcohol playing into my seances. At least I don't think.
We may be
In my memory.
drinking, but we're still welcoming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah, that makes me more welcoming. Yeah.
Exactly. I can't necessarily think of any other reasons.
Yeah, because people record like Ouija board sessions all the time.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, the science is supposed to work. I think, honestly, it's first of all, it's been a while since I've used it.
Let's try again.
Yeah.
So it is very possible.
I felt like the way the board was kind of moving with it, like you were kind of snagging it. Or...
Like, I
was,
almost
yeah.
want to, like, move it up to, like, that just to, like, stable it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to try this again. We are reopening our circle. Any spirits out there wishing to communicate with us, we are welcoming you. We are hoping that somebody wants to speak with us. And we would just love to hear if there's anything anyone has to say. If there is anyone out there wishing to speak with us, please move the blanket towards yes on the board. Is there anyone out there? Anyone that would like to talk to us? If there's someone out there, is there anyone out there at all? Hello, we welcome you to our circle. If anyone is out there, please move towards yes.
It's fucking moving. It's not moving.
Yeah, it's not sliding,
Yeah,
but
but it's...
it is doing something.
That's so weird. We see that you are doing something there, and we ask that you try to move it towards yes.
I keep feeling mild attempts. Like a very slight shift. Not even really a movement, but like slight shifts. We can feel you trying. If you would like to speak with us, please move the plankette towards yes. We can feel a presence. Somebody is there. We would just love to communicate.
So do the ghosts or the talks you normally have on Ouija boards, are they normally like region specific to?
Not always.
No.
I believe the last time I used my board, I spoke to a young man who I believe died of a heroin overdose in Halifax in 1987.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And how long do those sessions normally take?
Like sometimes they start up fairly quickly, sometimes they take about as long as this is taking. I feel like the anticipation's probably not helping either.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Right.
The board moved.
Did you just feel that?
Yeah, the board moved.
Okay, it was 100% the board?
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
see it.
I didn't feel it, but I saw the board move.
Okay,
you
because I
really?
felt it.
Go ahead and stare. There it's going.
But yeah, sometimes it can take a little while, but I've had others where it started almost immediately. So it's very, very situational.
That's crazy.
And have you been using this specific board?
I have had this specific board since I was 20, I believe.
Okay.
The very first time I ever used this board. The person we spoke to, his name was Elliot. He died when he was 16 years old in World War I of mustard gas.
Holy shit.
Which at first I questioned on the development of mustard gas. But after research, there were prototypes. But he had a wife and a daughter named Abigail that he left behind somewhere in Canada. Didn't quite tell me where.
That's insane.
And when we asked him if he had anything to say to us, he spelled, fuck you. The planchette went immediately to goodbye. And we closed the circle.
Yeah, that's not good. We saw that you moved the board as well as you've been trying to move the plankette. So we hope that you can give us another try.
Is there anyone that would like to speak with us? If that is someone moving the plankette ever so slightly, please try harder. Please move the plankette towards yes so we know that you're there. Do you feel that? Okay, is it just me, but is the board moving?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So I've never had that happen.
That was
That was
creepy.
a couple times the boards moved.
Where the board moved,
got
but the planchette did not.
We have a high roller. We have someone who wants to.
Go big or go home?
Should we keep trying?
I don't even know. Like, I feel like whatever we're dealing with might not want to speak. They might be there, but they might not want to speak, and that's always a possibility.
So what if
Yeah.
we just talk for a bit without the board?
We can definitely do that. I would like to close it a little bit first. I'm basically just going to touch the board here just to give some sort of physical contact to it and tell us that we appreciate all attempts to make contact. We understand that maybe, just maybe, you don't want to talk to us. That's totally
Exactly.
fair.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
me that much either.
Yeah.
We respectfully close the board. We thank you for your attempts and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. That was kind of neat. Damn. I did feel some things.
There was definitely some serious movement.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah.
The board moved quite a bit, though.
It
Like,
really
got
did.
herky-jerky.
Started,
Yeah, then herky-jerky, then, like, pretty, like
steadily.
smooth.
Yeah.
Which is usually what happens
Yeah.
with the planchet.
But it was
Like,
the
normally-
full fucking board.
Yeah.
But it was also moving towards yes.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it was acknowledging that it was there, but maybe not that
No.
it wanted to speak.
Yeah.
At least that's my interpretation of it.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for you to go back over that audio and see if there's anything weird. Why do you look scared?
I don't know. I just feel like we should ask one more time without touching it, and just see if anything.
I've never had it work that way. That's nuts. That debunks all the science behind Ouija boards. I'm very concerned with your experiences right now.
Yeah,
If-
Sarah, has that happened to you without you touching the planchette?
No.
Okay. Because you're making it sound like you have watched a planchette move around on a Ouija board.
No, I've never.
Okay.
Okay.
I've
So
never-
that's not what it does.
No.
No.
That's not how a Ouija
No, I'm
board
just wondering
works.
if we could try to keep talking to it and see if it maybe wants to like flicker a candle or like do some other thing.
I mean, candles normally flicker.
That was a bad example.
Okay.
If you're still here, give us a sign that you're still in the room. Whether that be through the mic audio or a tap.
What if the board moved again?
Oh my god, I would shit. I would shit.
Did it move?
No, but
Oh, okay.
what if?
I mean, that would be really cool, but I don't know if this ghost has what it takes to move the board again.
Don't taunt it.
Bait the ghost.
I'm such a Zach Baggins. I'm shit disturber.
Zach Baggins, Frodo's lesser known cousin.
All right, well, maybe something will pick up on the mic. Who knows?
I'm very interested to hear if your playback features anything weird.
I'm gonna listen,
Um,
especially during that board moving near the end there.
that's very interesting. That's never happened to me in all my years of using spirit boards.
I don't know. I feel like maybe the whatever.
Maybe it was
moves the
try it.
planchette
Yeah.
is-
I suppose you're right. Yeah, it doesn't want to.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I
you know
think
what?
It might have been trying to move the planchette, but the board.
Oh, you are a thinker, woman. Okay, I'm willing to give it one more shot.
If you want, Amy, one more, one more try. We're gonna try one more time. We're gonna reopen.
I think it was just kind of like the physics of this.
It was
table
just a
and
technicality.
I think so as well. And you can just
Okay.
edit all of that out and make it seem like we did it right the first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We know about stuff.
I wanna start it up on where it says Ouija. I feel like starting on goodbye wasn't very helpful either. It is kind of like off kilter now,
Yeah.
but I feel like we'll pick up a little bit more audio because the planchette will jangle, but it might be a little bit more obvious with movement unless you have more coasters.
There's another thing. Probably about as good as we're gonna get.
Yeah, I would almost maybe like suggest a blanket.
What about a pillowcase?
That might work.
Yeah.
Because this is meant to be this like roughness that the felt does move, in fact. But I think this is so not rough
So not rough. And
that
like,
it's sliding. Yeah.
it's easier for the board to move than the planchette.
Like that's still a little slidey, but it'll be more friction.
But like,
Yeah.
I can do this and it's not moving the board.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
Before it would have moved the board.
Okay, well,
We're gonna try again. Okay.
Attempt 1 at Ouija board.
yes, first try.
I'm
First
just
try.
curious. Did you think that was interesting? Like the board moving? Like, were you kind of scared at a point?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't use the word scared. I would use the word intrigued.
Intrigued. Very
Yeah.
intrigued. I'm
I
very
mean,
intrigued.
I figured it had something to do with. The
Yeah, no, like
physics of the
you
board.
found a logical explanation,
yeah,
and that's
that's
completely valid. So now it's just like, okay, so if it moves now, then we've got some things.
We
Yeah.
got some things. I like this.
All right. We are opening our circle. We are welcoming any and all spirits that wish to communicate into our circle to speak with us. We are friendly. We are welcoming. We wish only to communicate and hopefully learn. And we welcome any spirits that are out there to speak with us and communicate at their will. If there are any spirits out there that wish to join our circle, please move the planchette towards yes. You guys should probably say something similar.
Yeah. If there is anyone here, we would love to talk to you. We are very welcoming. And if you can, please use our energy to move the planchette to yes.
we're looking to talk with you if you are here. If you are, please prove that we're here and willing to talk with us by moving the planchette towards us. I'm really proud I didn't go with something more silly. Because I'm getting to that point.
Every time we say, is anyone here? I just think of my Tinder matches.
I'm thinking of like one of those like old 90s like party lines.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Lava life.
yeah.
Sexy singles looking to talk now.
Yeah.
I
I'm
would-
so
I
lonely
would-
and I want to party.
I would love
Party with single
to communicate with a dead ghost sex worker.
Oh my god. the
Halifax
stories.
hookers, come on, get at me.
Yeah.
There's no @ symbol on a Ouija board, but you can try.
We support you and your previous lifestyle.
Sex work is work.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say lifestyle. I was like, ooh, nope.
Dead
Insensitive.
style.
Yes.
All jest aside, we welcome any and all spirits into our circle. We are willing to communicate on any level. If there's any sort of presence in the room with us, please let that be known to us by either indicating your presence with the Ouija board and planchette towards the word yes, or by any other physical indicator. If that's a movement, I feel we are welcoming you. We would like to talk and communicate. If you would like to speak with us, please move further towards the yes on the board. Please move toward yes if you are there. Any spirits looking to communicate, please indicate your presence. Please move the planchette towards yes. I felt something slight about a minute ago.
Yeah. I noticed there was some tapping.
If you're there, please tell us yes. Felt it move almost downward slightly.
I don't seem to be feeling like... Just based on like your guys' reactions, I don't seem to be feeling the same things.
Interesting.
But like I can see.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if
Maybe
anyone
it's-
wants to talk.
Maybe it's a good thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It means that my place doesn't
Close
have
in
any
circle.
spirits. Yeah.
Thank you for your attempts.
We tried.
Yeah, we did.
We put in a
The
good
board
effort.
moving was still weird enough. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this was like a dud session.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who's to say? Yeah,
That's what I think it's it. I think that someone's there, they just don't feel like talking.
Yeah. So they just moved the board instead of the planchette.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because theoretically, if the board moved this way but the planchette stayed the same, it would actually move the planchette towards no. That's how I'm going to theorize it, I think.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Interesting.
didn't work this time necessarily, but I still have the most incredible open mind. I've had this Ouija board work for me on many occasions, and like I said, I've done it hoopty way with Scrabble pieces. So
Yeah.
I'd like to try again some night.
Oh, absolutely.
Without recording.
I think that might have something to do with it. Weirdly enough,
Yeah.
and
the fact that we're all
And on a time crunch, too.
that's exactly it. And I think
Yeah.
that might be, if nothing else, screwing with our own subconscious
Yeah.
rather than the actual board or any
Exactly.
connection to a quote unquote spirit world.
You gotta
Even if the recording doesn't have anything to do with it, we're still thinking about the fact that it's recording.
subconsciously, our brains are like, it's recording, we need a reaction.
Yeah, we need to be on for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that would have a lot to do with it, honestly. I think anticipation has a lot to do with it. And
Yeah,
those
that's true.
sorts of things.
Yeah, no, that was very interesting. And thank you for bringing it.
Of course.
Because that brought me back to 6th grade.
Or you could take all of that out and we could lie.
It worked, guys.
Oh
I
my
am
god,
spooked.
you guys, we talked to Elvis.
You did me a heckin'
We
concern.
we talked to Anton LaVey. He's doing great.
I mean, the past experiences that I've had with them, they've never been crazy. I don't
Okay,
think.
but have you ever put your hands on it before? Because I'm very
Yeah, like
confused.
I'm really concerned about how you used to use Ouija boards.
I don't think I did.
You weren't using.
Okay, then I'm pretty sure
You were
the other-
looking at a Ouija board. You were not using a Ouija
then
board.
the other person you were with was tricking you.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had a situation where it's been like. Have you had like? Has
Oh,
it
of
been-
course.
Yeah.
I've had full conversations.
Yeah. Like
That's
I've
insane. That's
when
insane.
done this, I have had like full spelled out answers
Yeah.
from ghosts.
Like I have
Or
had
from whatever.
sentences. I have had full conversations. Yeah.
I'd love to do it again.
Again, it's all subconscious. Like
Less-
we're going
less-
on record with
you-
that.
Not
but-
not
hands
any.
on there, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was very lightly touching it, but I was touching it like that.
All right.
Yeah.
I would love it if it just like took off right now.
Oh
Like,
my
just-
God,
just-
right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But
Sorry.
And that's also a thing. The playtest's not actually supposed to be on the board itself unless you're using it. There's a lot of
oh.
really weird rules. That go
okay,
with
I
it.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
That I guess that makes sense. It's kind of like blue balling the ghosts.
In a way,
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like taunting them.
Yeah.
That's very true. Interesting. Well, I'll have to listen to the audio back because maybe you never know.
What if they were trying to communicate?
I will freak the fuck out.
I don't care if it's 4 a.m. and you hear some shit and that
I
audio
will message
recording,
you
you
guys.
message me
Yeah.
immediately.
100%. It's happening. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
That was a lot of fun.
This was a lot of fun. I want to do more. I'm in the spirit now. I feel like this got me in the spirit for Halloween.
Yeah.
I feel like I wasn't totally there, and now I'm there.
Same.
So you got me in the mood
Very spooked.
for Halloween.
I'm very
Did you
excited.
get a heckin' spook?
I did. Too spooky for
Did it do you an anxiety?
Okay, actually, don't even get me started because I literally have the too spooky for me meme tattooed on my body.
Seriously? That's fantastic.
The too
That's
spooky to what?
amazing.
Just too spooky for
Too
me.
spooky for me.
What's that?
Me and it's just old internet.
Yeah.
Like it's just some 4chan shit.
Oh,
And
really?
like me and my best friend Matt got too spooky matching tattoos. I actually wrote a whole fucking song called Too Spooky.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
You love it. How many tattoos do you have?
Oh god, like well over 20 at this point.
That's a lot of tattoos.
I've been stabbed a few times.
By a tattoo needle.
Presumably.
Well. I want to thank Frankie and Amy for coming over for this very spooky episode.
Thanks for having us.
And we will hopefully try again.
Yeah.
I would like to try again.
that would be tons of fun.
And
Let's
like
do an intoxicated.
intoxicated. Yeah, that has to
Like how
happen.
they said marijuana was discouraged.
But like,
But they didn't give it a
alcohol
hard
was-
no,
yeah.
like the alcohol.
Right.
Alcohol was straight up, don't do it.
But I would like-
weed is like, you might not want to.
I would actually like to have a night where there's like no time constraints.
Yeah.
yeah.
And like,
Dude, I literally booked a week-long vacation. Like, hit me up.
let's friggin' do this, shall we?
And here's actually a funny consideration too, and now that I reflect upon it, I didn't think it would affect it as much, but I think the last time I went to use my Ouija board, actually the very last time I did, I didn't get a response out of it either. I didn't want to mention that before because I didn't want to like skeptic you guys out. But I had a lot of wine that night.
Oh.
So I'm
Maybe it is
wondering
the
if that's
alcohol.
actually it. Because I'm not sure I'd ever used it. Like, I've definitely like used it high, like when I was in college, but like I don't think I was ever drunk.
That's odd because I thought ghosts would like booze.
Boo! Oh, you guys.
Or spirits.
I love all of it.
Both of the jokes. They work.
Oh my gosh. Well, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween!
And Sarah,
That's so clippy there.
do some,
Oh, yeah, that
do
went
some
spiked.
creepy outro music for this segment. I hope everybody has a great Halloween. And
Let's do creepy outro music with our mouths. There you go. That's it.
And Frankie and Amy, you guys do the honors. Ring
I did the first.
that bell. I would have flipped my shit if that bell would have rang during that. Like, I would have actually been like, I'm staying at one of your guys' places.